Thank you for joining us. He's still talking to the Pharisees. He's saying, you know what? If you were one of my sheep, you would be eternally secure because nobody would be able to pluck you out of my hand. Well, then he goes on, John 10:29 and 30. My Father, who has given them to me, is greater than all, and no one is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. Ooh, sounds to me like the Trinity, doesn't it? Of course, he's not talking about all three here, but he and the Father are one God. Remember back in chapter 8, verse 58, when they said, well, you're not 50 years old. How in the world would you know Abraham? And in John 8:58, Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am, calling himself the great I am. So here again in verse 30 of chapter 9, he's claiming to be God. I and my Father are one. Now understand when we pick this back up that they took up stones to stone him because he had just claimed to be God in the flesh, which he was. And they considered it blasphemy. And so they were wanting to stone him to death. So don't try to make that passage say something other than it says, because they wanted to stone him because what it meant was he was claiming to be God in the flesh. And so don't try to make that something else. Oh, my Father and I want the same thing or something like that. They would have known better than that to pick up stones to stone him. It was a claim to deity. Okay? Back to chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made by him. And then you're going, okay, who's this Word? John 1:14. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. All things were made by him. The Creator came to earth to be our Redeemer. Boy, that's pretty good. Now, this is Friday's devotion, and to film for the next week, we would have to film on Christmas Eve, and we're not going to do that. So we're going to take a week off, and then we'll pick back